I have a question for all of you. Have you ever felt so fearful? You felt the fear gripping you in your stomach. You felt rejected by someone. You felt like your whole world was falling in around you. You felt like, I can't go on. I'm sure all of you have felt that emotion, those emotions at one time or another. And I have. And I will tell you my story. I was a happy-go-lucky teenage kid. I never knew fear. I played tennis. I got a scholarship. I was loved and honored by all my friends. I became a cheerleader. I was so-so in school. It wasn't great. But all the other things made up for that. And then I went to college to do my favorite sport that I'd always wanted to do. And lo and behold, I met the man of my dreams. He was a football player. He was very good looking. And he liked me. But no one told me that I could get pregnant. But that's what happened. I went immediately from the doctor to the dorm where he was staying. I ran up to the top of the stairs, and I called out for him, and I said, I need to talk to you. I've got something really important to say to you. And he looked at me and said, what is it? And I said, I'm pregnant. And he became enraged, and he started to push me and shove me and slapped me at one point and said, what are you thinking? You're going to ruin our lives if you have this baby. You must get rid of it. And I said, I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to. And each time I was going further and further back. And I never saw the stairs. And whether he pushed me or whether I fell, all that matters is I ended up on the bottom of the stairs. I picked myself up, I looked around, and there were people in the foyer laughing at me because he was at the top of the stairs saying, get out of here and never come back. I ran to my dorm. I was humiliated. I didn't know what to do except to call my mother. That's what we all do when we're in trouble. We call our mothers. I was hoping for a warm, kind voice. I was hoping for some compassion, some understanding. And my mother was enraged. She said, you must get rid of it. And I said, I can't do that. I want the baby. And she said, I will be there tomorrow morning to collect you. We are going to New York, and we're getting rid of it. And I lay down on my bed, and I started to cry. Around midnight, I knew I was sick. I knew I was going to lose the baby, and I did. By the time my mother came the next morning, I was a mess. We cleaned up the room. We left the room. She took me home. I went into my room, my old room at my house. I couldn't look at my parents. I was so humiliated. And I told my dad, I don't know what I did. I don't know why I did it, but I just need some space. And my dad said, for a couple of days, I'll let you sit in there and pout and feel sorry for yourself, but then you're going to get up and we're going to talk. Because you see, my dad was my biggest supporter. There was nothing I could do in my dad's eyes that was wrong. And so a few days went by, and he came in. He said, you must start a job. You need to work. You need to do something for me. And I said, what's that? He said, I have a job for you at the family business. We just got a new customer, and it's going to be great around the family business, and I want you to be part of it. Only one catch. No special favors for you. No special job. No special hours. Everyone at the company starts in the bakery at 4 a.m. 4 a.m.? Oh my gosh. Okay, Dad. And he said, you're starting on Monday. Little did I know at that point in time that my ex-boyfriend had pushed me into my future. I started at the Bama Companies, our family business, that Monday at 4 a.m. I started working there. I worked with every single person in the plant. I got to know them. I knew their names. I knew what they did. They invited me over. We had parties. I learned to make every recipe I'd ever made was from my friends at Bama. They did ceramics. They wrote poetry. They did art. They made beautiful things. They didn't do that when they came to work. I began to notice everyone at work, head down, scared, frightful, fearful of something that was going to happen. And so I started talking to them, and I asked them, what is making you so afraid at work? I see you at your homes, and you're not like this. And they said, it's your father. He's very mean. He comes in, he sees someone standing in a position or talking to someone that he doesn't like, and he fires them. We never know when it's coming. We don't know why. We didn't do anything wrong, but we're afraid of him. And I said, I will talk to him. This has to stop. This is wrong. I went to talk to him, and he said, oh no, this is how you manage. This is how you manage a business. You haven't learned. If you're not scaring people at all times, they will take advantage of you. They will cheat. They will take your stuff. They will lie to you. So you must keep them afraid. And I said, Dad, I'm so sorry to tell you this. I don't agree with that. And he said, well, you just keep going to school and keep coming to work, and you'll see. You'll see. But I never gave up on my dream of running Bama differently. Little did I know at that point in time that my dad was under a lot of pressure from our largest customer. And they were pressuring him to sell the company because he was getting on in years, he was getting up in years, and he needed to move along. But he didn't have anyone following him. They didn't even know about me. So they came to visit him one day after he had his heart attack. He was in bed. From all the pressure, he couldn't even work anymore, and they came to talk to him and said, Paul, you really need to do something. You need to sell this company. We want you to sell this company. And I was outside the room, and I heard it all happening, and I thought, oh no, I'm never going to get my chance to run the family business. Because our customer didn't believe that girls did things like that. They had no confidence in me. But my dad told them, you need to go. Because I was eating 3 square meals a day before you came along, and I'll be eating 3 square meals after you're gone. Because my daughter is going to run Bama. And he put me in charge of the company, and he said, you can do it your way now. It's your turn. And I began to implement all the programs, all the dreams I had, all the training for the team members. I eliminated the word employee because I hated it so much because what it meant to me was a servant. And the last thing I wanted them to be was a servant. I wanted them to be my partners. I wanted them to be on my team. I wanted the fear to be gone. And as we began to build Bama into 2,300 team members today, on 3 continents today, serving customers all over the globe, I was excited. I was excited about what we were doing. I got everyone together, all of the team members, and I said, we are going to write a mission of this company. What does this company stand for? And every single person said, we're just people working here, but we're all helping each other all the time be successful. And later, I added through caring and accountability. Because one of the things I realized as I was building the business across all these continents, that I had forgotten a very important part of my life. And I had gotten married, and I had had a child, finally. But I was so busy building and building and building that I forgot about them. And in my zeal to be the best CEO and not to be the one, the fear was running me. I didn't want to be the kid that ran the family business into the ground. So I decided I would focus on the business and not on them. That came home to roost one day when I got home and my husband had served me with papers to divorce. And not only was he divorcing me, he said, I'm taking the home. You need to go. And I was shepherded out of my own home. I was so devastated. I was broken. I was ashamed. I was lost. I drove around for hours and hours crying and wishing I could turn the clock back, being sorry for what I had done, but I had no one to tell it to. And finally, I ended up on my parents' doorstep, and I collapsed. I thought I was dying. I wanted to die. But my folks had other plans for me, and God had other plans for me. And I went to the hospital, and I began to learn from teachers, from counselors, from psychologists, from people in our community. And then I decided I wanted to learn more about why. Why was I so broken? Why was I so afraid? Why did these things keep happening to me? The rejection, the humiliation. Why did it keep happening to me? Because I didn't love myself. I sent myself horrible messages. I got up every morning and told myself, you're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're too fat. You're not smart. And in the middle of all that, I began to work with healers from all over the world. I began to attend tribal drumming events and fire events and all kinds of things from people who were designed to help me get rid of all my demons. And I'm proud to say today, the Bama companies, with this mission statement, I've had the best thing happen to me that's ever happened in my whole career. We opened the Bama Caring Center last year, and 2,300 team members in our company can get the help they need anytime they need. They can get help from any one of our 15 counselors, our lawyers, our doctors. All services are free. I wrote my own personal mission statement. I told all my team members, I want them to know that I love them. I want them not to be afraid. I knew they all had problems just like I did, and I wanted them to know that Bama was here to help. Today, I don't listen to those messages. Are those messages still with me? Yes, every single day. But today I know those messages are just messages. That's all they are. They are meaningless. They aren't me. They aren't who I am. I've learned to love and accept myself and honor myself as well. If it wasn't for myself replacing the fear I had with love, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you today. Thank you.